You want to support people with like disabilities. You know, you know, this is the way to do it. I'm gonna do it. Even if I watch both, I'm gonna do it. So, if you watch a Peacock or you watch it on NBC itself or CNBC itself, or just use the Peacock thing, whatever it is, get viewers on it. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it all the way through. The coverage. Have it all the way from start to finish, regardless of repeats or not, or TV premieres. Which is stuff that they had earlier in Peacock streaming, but it's live on. Or it repeats they showed earlier on the day on CNBC or on another channel, so on USA Network or so, or just TV premiere stuff they shown on NBC, shown say on CNBC or USA Network, but for the first time, but it was earlier on Peacock. That's TV premiere. And then day 3 is Alpine Skiing Men's Women's Super G's live from 5 to 7:30 a.m. in Eastern, 11 to 1:30 p.m. Italy, and this is a 5 a.m. day, just like day 2 was. And then mixed team wheelchair curling, United States versus Switzerland, a TV premiere of that from 7:30 8:30 a.m. Eastern, and then 8:30 10:30 a.m. Eastern, which is 2:30 to 4:30. Slovakia qualifying or Czechia versus Slovakia live. And then the mixed doubles wheelchair curling joint press from 4:30 to 5:15 in Milan, or in Italy, I guess, in Cortina. Mixed doubles wheelchair curling United States China. And the Slovakia qualifying, that's supposed to be 12:05 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern. Thus, that is 6:05 to 8 p.m. Slovakia qualifying or United States Germany. Men's and Super G is single alpine skiing. That is, I guess that is a TV premiere. Although it could be mixed in with this one. Although I don't know though. But either way, so yeah. Then USA Network has a day 4 coverage. The alpine skiing, the women's combined Super G. It could be like combined disciplines, like the visually impaired, mixed with like the sitters or standing. This is kind of like this is what I'm guessing. What I'm guessing is, I could be wrong, though. I really haven't, followed along with the Paralympics much. I'll be honest with you, but not that I don't hate this disabled, but I just have from following, with the Paralympics. It's kind of hard, kind of hard one, They'd really like blow like the Paralympics, like when they decide on streaming Peacock, and they put on like a really low cable channel tier, and they don't really like, or they barely just do a bare minimum for the streaming, now they might be forced to stream everything that, streaming stuff, but they don't have to like, televise it, but they do. Maybe they do have to televise it. They just put on like a televised channel, like a cable only. Which I'll take it, better than nothing. Honestly, I'll take it, Even CNBC, I'll take it, But it's just like, really, I'll take it, but it's just like, but you want more, but you'll take it for now, at least it's on. So, that's kind of the way I am with this. Honestly. Especially CNBC. Even USA Network, they show Premier League soccer. Can they do before Premier League soccer or stuff comes on, or like men's college basketball? Can't they show it on there and then move it over to CNBC? I would think so, but I guess not. Even if they showed, say, that alpine skiing women's combined Super G, and then at 6 a.m. Eastern, say they're showing Premier League soccer. Okay. Maybe this event moved to CNBC, say, for the weekend. Okay, sure. We'll do that. Okay, even if for a pregame show, okay, sure. That's a legit reason, but you have nothing on, say, sometimes for a while. Like, no. And And then the cross-country men's women's sprint qualifying live is from 11:10 a.m. to 12:35 p.m. in Italy. And then alpine skiing men's combined Super G is a TV premiere from 6:45 to 7:50 Eastern. And 7 men's and women's sprint semifinals and final in cross-country skiing from 1:15 to 2:30 p.m. in Italy, 7:15 to Eastern, and 8:30 to and then sled hockey qualifying game as United States and China from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. in Italy, 8:35 to 10:30 Eastern. And then the for the men's and slalom, from which is like the different disciplines in one race. I think it must be in slalom, And then they're showing highlights of that from 10:30 to 11 Eastern, and then the men's and sprint finals to repeat from that from earlier in the day. I'm just being shown the final from 2.5 hours before that one. Cross country men's sprint finals, and then women's Wednesday on day 5 is at 4 a.m. this time. We have another 4 a.m. day. Alpine ski, which is 3 a.m. for me. Alpine ski men's combined slalom repeat from Tuesday from 4 a.m. to 4:45, and then from 4:45 to 6 a.m. Eastern, 10:45 to noon in Milano in Italy. The same cross country men's and women's 10-kilometer races, and then the last half hour of the mixed team wheelchair curling, United States versus South Korea game match. That is from noon to 12:30 p.m. Eastern, in Italy, 6 to 6:30, and 6:30 to 8:45 Eastern, 12:30 to 2:45 p.m. in Italy. Cross country men's and women's 10 kilometers staying discipline and the visually impaired disciplines men's and women's cross country, and then the sing cross country and the 10 kilometer repeat. That's from 8:45 to 9:30 Eastern, and then 9:35 to 11:50 Eastern, which is 3:35 to 5:15 in Italy. Mixed double wheelchair curling final, and then the cross country ends in 10 kilometer. The visually impaired discipline. Highlights of that last 15 minutes of that. Highlights of that. You might have it where like the men's go, for you might have like multiple disciplines racing at the same time. I wonder if that's the case, So, I think that's the case. It could possibly, you know what I mean. So, then we have that, and then day 6, USA Network is having alpine skiing. Wind giant slalom first run from 4 to 5:20 Eastern, day 6, and then that's 10 to 11:20 in Italy. And then next up was wheelchair curling final repeat from 5:30 to 7:30, and then 7:30 to 8:30 Eastern. Alpine skiing wind giant slalom the final run. And that's 2:30 to 6 hours. It's 1:30 to 2:30 in Italy. And then next team wheelchair curling United States Norway from 8:35 to 11 Eastern. That's 2:35 to 5 Eastern. Or 2:35 to 5 in PM. 2:35 PM to 5 PM in Italy. And Alpine skiing wind giant slalom fair run. 11:30 Eastern. Day 7. USA Network is going to have from 4 to 5:50 Eastern, 10 to 11:50 Eastern, or 11:50, 10 to 11:50 in Italy. Alpine skiing wind giant slalom first run live. And the mixed team wheelchair curling semifinal live. Very March 13th. And that's semifinal live. The first semifinal is going to, one of the, or maybe both semifinals are at the same time. They're showing one of them from, that's 11:50 to 1:30 PM in Italy. And then 1:30, 2:30 in Italy. 7:30, 8:30. Men's and women's sprint pursuit finals in biathlon live. And then stand up and skiing, men's giant slalom final run, 8:30 a.m. to 9:10 a.m. Eastern, which is 2:30 to 3:10 in Italy. And then our last 15 minutes of men's and women's sprint pursuit finals, the visually impaired class. The visually impaired class is from 3:10 to 3:25. And then I have sled hockey and that's 9:10 to 9:25 Eastern, and then 9:35 to 11:30 Eastern. Sled hockey semifinal live, which is